climate change, we have a global emergency. It's a man-made disaster at a global scale. In Ghana, as in most of Africa, the small and growing business sector contributes at least 70% of GDP. In seeking to have less emissions, we must also work with the business sector, particularly SMEs, to ensure that they are applying climate responsive practices that will ensure that we're emitting less greenhouse gases. This is really what drives the investment of GCIC and its donors in supporting businesses with business management and business operations skills so that they can go the long haul with their business. So that in 20 years' time, 25 years' time, they're still in existence and they will actually be the big business of tomorrow.
Our focus here at GCIC, which distinguishes us from several other entrepreneurship support units, is the fact that we focus specifically on sustainability. So for every business that gets into this incubator, there ought and there must be an aspect of the business that is ensuring that the levels of resources that they are using, say water, energy, or even the efficiency of the equipment that they apply, or the manufacturing processes that they apply, are efficient. Efficient to the extent that they can translate into a reduction in the levels of emissions that will go on to contribute to climate change.
Everything around us revolves around ensuring that we are able to minimize our carbon footprints in the work that we do. For instance, being able to use recycled products from the environment.
As part of our plan to mitigate climate change, we use paper boxes for packaging our vegetables for exports.
At Asenra, we are using adaptive digital technologies to enhance the recovery of waste plastics for reuse and recycling. Also, as some of these plastics ends up in the landfills and incinerators being burnt, we are recovering these plastics. It means that we are cutting that chain where the plastic ends up being burnt, producing carbon emissions into the atmosphere.
HA Farms is an integrated agribusiness that is focused on producing healthy and affordable poultry products. What is unique about our business is that we are using natural herbs and other technologies that makes our production efficient and that reduces our cost of production. We are also practicing circular economy, where all the waste in our production is reused for other agricultural activities.
So at Matspat Poultry Farm, what we do is we raise, we process and market eggs and chicken, which are being produced by our own layers and broilers and sold on a commercial level to our customers in eco-friendly packages through delivery services at affordable prices.
We know that male-led enterprises consistently outperform female-led enterprises. Of course, there are a few outliers, but generally that is, there's a genderized nature to entrepreneurship. What we're already finding, in fact, is that women entrepreneurs in the green economy are not receiving as much venture capital as male-led enterprises, right? And we also know that, particularly because of the historic and institutional trends that we've seen around STEM education, when there are business opportunities around climate change, they may not see that they fit. What we have done at the Ghana Climate Innovation Center is to consider some of these nuances, and we sought to respond to them through our program that we call the Women Entrepreneurs Transformation Program. Because if we don't have enough women actually participating, right, in the business sector, participating in the opportunities, the business opportunities that climate change meets, we're not doing well enough.
Since I started with GCIC, I've learned a lot, especially with the climate change and the sustainability, which I'll be using on my farm. In fact, I've actually started using it.
This incubator has really changed the way we do things, the way I think. It is really changing us personally as well as the business. So I can see growth from the business as a whole.
The entrepreneurship journey, as we all know, it's a very difficult one and sometimes a very lonely one. And so you need support systems. And here at the Ghana Climate Innovation Center, over time, through research and experience, we have come to understand what those building blocks are. And we have come to understand what the critical needs of businesses are.
Last year, we supported 18 enterprises from across Ghana, 9 male-led, 9 female-led, for a period of 9 months. In that period alone, 9 months, these enterprises employed nearly 500 people. They created an additional, I think it was 52 jobs, right? They made CO2 savings of, I think, 169,000 metric tons, which is equivalent to what 99,000 Ghanaians emit every year. I think that's a remarkable result. You know, in terms of revenues, I think it was in excess of $1.9 million, despite the economic challenges that we had, in Ghana last year. So it's been a journey, but we recognize that we are, on a journey. We're on a trajectory. The global climate emergency is not going to end, in 1 month, in 1 year. It's going to take time, but the journey of 1,000 miles begins with just one step, right? So we recognize that, and we're determined to do all that we can to support enterprises on this entrepreneurial trajectory.